Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be my review for The Foster Season 2, Episode 3, Play. Now, last night's episode of Switch to Birth, I did have a couple problems with, but I didn't have a problem with this episode at all. And I had a problem with last week's episode, but I didn't have a problem with this episode at all. In fact, in my opinion, this was the best episode of the season. I was really into this episode. I thought it was quite funny at points. I was just really into this episode. I had no problems with it, in my opinion. I thought it was really good. So let's just get to it, because I really enjoyed it. So, basically, we see right away that Mariana is getting a little bit insecure about fitting in with the other girls on the dance team. She feels kind of excluded. She feels kind of excluded from the girls' social events because, she's kind of feeling excluded from that. And, meanwhile, LEna and Stef are reminiscing about their partying days while discussing their baby moon plans, where basically their baby moon is when it's kind of like a honeymoon, but it's their last time to be together, just the two of them, before they have a baby and all the chaos comes, which I thought was kind of cute. And Lee convinces Stef to leave Brandon and Callie in charge so they can have their romantic vacation away. And Stef doesn't know if it's such a good idea, but LEna ultimately convinces her, and that's what they decide to do. She convinces her. And Brandon practices with his band, and he is very looking forward to his opinions about the music. You can see he's having a very good time with his band. Oh, I do want to ask one thing, though, about the bands. The songs that they sang in this episode, can I get these songs on iTunes? Because I really enjoy these songs. I'd really like to get them on iTunes. So, if you guys could possibly tell me, if I can get these songs on iTunes, I'd really be happy. Because I really enjoyed all the songs they sang. And I'd really like to, find these songs on iTunes. Because I really enjoyed the songs they sang a lot. I thought they were definitely very, very good. So basically, the lead singer, Lou, has trouble letting go of control, and Lou eventually gives in and convinces Brandon to let the band play at the house, because he says, I'm gonna be, because, she was telling him how, you have to, we have to practice more, and Brandon tells her how, we can't, I'm gonna be at my house, and she says, okay, let's just practice at your house. Of course, when Mariana finds out about the band playing at the house in an attempt to fit in, she actually ends up inviting the girls from the dance team to the party, for a party. She throws a party, and Callie overhears about the party. She is not exactly happy about it, but she tries to manage the situation as best as she can, but she's a little bit unsuccessful, and she decides to stay out of it and invites Wyatt to help her keep things kind of going smoothly, because Callie does not want them to get in trouble. She wants to show Lee and stuff that they are responsible people, and that's just what she wants to show them. She wants to show that they are very responsible and they know what they're doing. Also, before we got to that, we did see Jude and Connor, and as we know, Connor's kind of avoiding Jude, and Jude's not exactly happy about that. But the thing is, it's really out of Jude's control. It's sad that that Connor and Jude are kind of not talking as much, but it's not really it's not Jude's fault or Connor's fault. It's just that Jude's kind of not really sure what his sexual orientation is right now, which I think it's an interesting storyline in my opinion. So Lee and Stef then start their baby moon, but Stef is already finding reasons to complain. Stef's concerns about their finances bring Leah right down with her. And during the massage, Stef seems to be more interested in conversing with the masseuse, who turns out to be a little bit judgmental than LEna. And LEna puts in her best efforts to set the mood for Stef, but Stef continues to talk unamused. To make a bad situation worse, the couples try to talk about their communication issues, but they don't find any resolutions that night. They talk about how far they've come since their wedding night, and they both vowed to do better in their relationship. So you can kind of see that it wasn't working out for them, but then they decided to do well. So at the party, Mariana is informed of the dance team's code of excellence, which basically, according to the code, the girls can't have more than one drink, dress like sluts, hook up with random guys, or use their patent moves when dancing. The girls end up breaking all of those rules by the end of the night in the house. obviously. So it was just like a crazy party. Crazy party. So then what happens is, Jesus runs into one of Mariana's dance teammates crying in the garage, which we know he just broke up with, that Emma just broke up with him last episode, so he's newly single now. And I really like this scene. They both end up confiding one another about their recent breakups, and by the way, this girl was extremely hot. Like, the first girl that Emma's been with, that's really hot. Like, Emma was kind of hot, but this girl's hotter. Much hotter. I'd date her. I would. And basically, yeah, so that was definitely very interesting. Also, Jude is stuck with these two girls because Connor was supposed to show up, but they are looking for Connor. They're about to place him in the bottle, and then Connor shows up. So Jude and Connor place him in the bottle with two girls, and it's going well until it ends up landing on, and it turns out that, Connor tells Jude not to tell anybody that he's here and everything. And what ends up happening is that it's going well until it lands on Connor to kiss Jude. And, they're about to. But before that happens, Callie comes into Connor's room and says, "Your dad's here." And Connor freaks out because he snuck out to go to the party. And Jude then covers for him, which was very nice and very sweet. But I definitely thought that was very interesting the way that worked. I thought that was definitely a very big scene. So yeah, I really I enjoyed that overall. That was really big. But I like that. I like that Jude's such a good friend to Connor. I definitely do like that. He's a very good friend to Connor, and I do like that about Jude and Connor in this episode. So what happens next is that Connor's dad comes by to look for his. Okay, so then one of Mariana's junk friends finds her way into the bathroom. She then stumbles off and falls asleep in LEna and Stef's bed, and then vomits on the bed. And Callie once again fails at meditating the situation. It's not really going well. It's just chaos, pretty much. Eventually, though, Lou shows up at the party, late to the party, and finds an upset Brandon. And it was because they didn't really get to play a song. And they start to argue about it, and Lou storms off, and Callie finds Lou in Brandon's room and talks to her about Brandon's past, and Lou learns more about Brandon's talent, how his life was turned upside down after his hand injury, and she does have genuine concern for him. She understands why he was acting the way he did. So outside, the band is pressured to play without their lead singer, and Brandon begins to sing, to wing it, and is actually joined by Lou minutes later, and the two connect on stage, which was very, very sweet. And as I said, I really like this song that they sang. I thought Brandon has a very nice voice. Lou had a very nice voice as well. Lou is played by Ashley Argata, as I said. She definitely is great. So yeah, I really enjoyed that scene. I thought that was definitely a good scene. And yeah, they connect on stage. So as the night comes on to an end, Jesus accidentally butt dials LEna's phone. Jesus has sex with that girl. They end up having sex. Luckily, he had condoms for once. I think this was the first time Jesus had sex and he had condoms. I don't remember that happening ever, but it happened here. And the gang bands together to lie through the situation because the party's over and everything. And what I really like is that we do get this one scene with Mariana, and this guy talks to her, and he's kind of like, "Well, did you enjoy that?" And she talks about how she says, "No, I didn't." She did enjoy it, but he asked her, "Was it a good idea?" And she said, "No, it wasn't." And he tells her how she is different from all of the other girls in the dance team, not just because she's Latina, but she's not sexual like them. She's not revealing like them. She's different from them, and I like that he said this to her because even as much as I love Mariana with blonde hair, she does need to be true to herself, and I think it's going to take a little while, but I think this guy's going to help her, and maybe might even be a potential boyfriend for her. We don't know. We'll have to see, but he could be a potential boyfriend for her, and that'll be interesting if that's true. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to work because I really enjoyed that scene. Meanwhile, Stef and LEna end up having sex. We saw that happens. So yeah, they end up having sex. And then what ends up happening is Jesus accidentally butt dials LEna's phone, and they all band together to lie through the situation. And just as they think they're about to get away with the impossible, they're cleaning up and everything. And I think everything's okay. And we get a very funny scene where they're like, well, at least nothing weird, nothing disastrous happened. And as soon as that happens, someone throws a chair right at the window, and the window breaks. So Wyatt decides to replace the window. He tries his best to replace the window, and it seems to be fine. Stef and LEna come home, and, they don't suspect a thing. Everything's okay, it seems, until they hear, he's replacing a window, but everything's fine until the glass actually breaks, because Wyatt did a poor job, because he did it, extremely quickly, so he didn't do the best job at that. And, yeah. Sorry guys, I'm very itchy here, I just woke up, deal with it. But yeah, this episode was amazing, it was really funny, it was hilarious, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a fantastic episode, I was really into this episode, best episode of the season, by far, absolutely loved it. So many great things about this episode, between, the Jude and Connor stuff, between the Jude and Connor plot, and Brandon's band playing, and, Callie and Wyatt, and also, Mariana trying to be true to herself, Stef and LEna on their baby moon. Just this whole episode was filled with so much great stuff. And I have a couple questions now for you guys. Now, while this episode was kind of filler, like Switch at Birth was not really that filler, is Mariana going to stay true to herself? Do you think this might have changed her a little bit? I don't know, we'll have to see. Brandon's band, do you like them? I personally love Brandon's band. I think they're definitely very talented, and I think they're very, very good. Looks like next week's Callie's gonna finally try to find her sister, which was not mentioned at all in this episode, which honestly didn't need to be. I understand why they didn't mention it, because it didn't really need to be. Will Jesus and that new girl start a relationship? I like them together. I think they'd be good together, and I think it's funny how Jesus keeps finding different girls, but I think this girl might actually be good for him. I think she's a good, genuine girl, and I'd like to see more of her, definitely. So, yeah, I do like this girl. And then, what's going on with Jude and Connor? Is Jude gay? I'm pretty sure that Jude is gay, and he's not, I think it's because he's so young, he can't admit it yet. A lot of gay people don't, come out till later. I just know that from, TV shows and things like that. Look, I know nothing about that. I could be stereotyping it, but from what I've seen, that's the truth. They don't, actually say what their sexual orientation is till, they're my age. It's true. They really don't. So I think that's what's going on with Jude. But that's been my review. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be my review for 24. So I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.